Oh, lovely to have you back with us, Yanni. Proves that yesterday was no hiccup at all. In fact, you've just repeated the show this morning. What was it like out on the track? You get a nice early race, not as hot as yesterday?
Yeah, the air temperature was nice, so the bikes ran really well, and yeah, we just kind of cruised, managed the race from the front, and there's a little bit of traffic because we got that split cast thing going on, but yeah, once we got through, we can get set into a rhythm and just kind of hold the front.
Young little Campbell on the 125 was actually the one pushing you along in early stages, so he'd got away to a cracker. Did you realise he was putting a bit of pressure there?
Yeah, I knew he was there. I wasn't surprised, to be honest. We got off to a really good start, and then the back markers from the pro lights in front of us kind of held us up a bit, so we couldn't really go flat out, and he got some really good moves and timed it all well and got in front, led for a little bit, and yeah, saw what he was doing and just kind of sat behind him and then just worked it out, figured out what he was doing, and then once we cleared the traffic, could really push and take it away.
Indeed, Hampton Downs, a new track that you've come to. Is there a track that you've raced on before that's sort of comparable to Hampton Downs here, just so people get an understanding of other tracks that you've campaigned on, what they're like, whether it be Australia or any other countries?
Yeah, very similar to a place called Morgan Park back home up in Queensland. It's got a combination of that tight, twisty stuff, but also some fast flowing corners. So there's some good sweepers, some good hairpins, and a nice long straight, which you get some good speeds like that out of Morgan Park Raceway back home.
Nice to see. Now, the next one is what we call a New Zealand TT title. No pressure, but you've been winning everything else. What are you going to do to win that one?
I don't know. That's a new race, so it depends. Anything can happen. I mean, bikes are machines. They break down. They decide not to work out of nowhere. So we're just going to go like we've done before, and yeah, no hiccup so far. So we'll just keep doing what we're doing and hopefully take out the TT.
Right. So what's it like as an Australia to compete here in New Zealand? Are we a decent bunch? What's our organisation and our events like to look from the outside?
Your accents are a bit funny, but other than that, no. It's similar in ways to the ASBK, but the events, the events are great. Lots of classes, lots more racing over here in terms of who can enter and things like that. There's not as many classes in the ASBK, but no, awesome bunch of people. It's tough coming here. Obviously, learning the tracks with the limited time we have, we can't really test. So we come over, we're learning the tracks on the 3 or 4 sessions we have on the Friday, and then we've got to go ham on the Saturday. So that's a big challenge, but nothing we can't handle.
Excellent, Yanni. We'll see you back here for the Podium New Zealand TT next.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Well done. Thank you, Yanni. Awesome to have. All right, well done to Campbell. Now an opportunity to get Dennis over here. Has that been another one of his back-to-backs? Maybe we've missed Dennis, so our apologies if we have. But Dennis Charlotte, look, he's doing so much in racing. This is a guy that's won so many classes in New Zealand championship racing. Superbikes, 600, 125s, 250s, along with 300s. There's only 2 classes he's not won, and it's super lights and sidecars, and he's campaigning both of those this year. And after his lead of the points in the sidecars, and that performance he had was just fantastic. Yes, and I didn't think the next one was the Dennis Charlotte class, and if I talk long enough, he might have heard me, and he has. Morning, Dennis. What did you do to beat Jacob? That was incredible.
Oh, it's amazing. Jacob's riding so well, and he's been around here once or twice, so it's pretty hard on a 2-stroke to keep up these 4 strokes with a punch out of the corners, but I got quite a lot of bit of top speed on him, so I knew when he come past, and I had to just tack onto him and around the bottom loop there, get a good drive off onto the straight, and I knew I'd have him on the line.
Yeah, great to see. Perfect tactics indeed to go with it. Hey, Motorcycle Mega said, man, how much work's been going on in that place? And all I want to know is Angela still your wife, and who makes your bed in the morning?
Yeah, I don't get to see much of Ange, but yeah, there's been a lot of work going on these race bikes. But unfortunately, not many customer bikes getting done, which doesn't pay the bills, but at least we're here racing.
Yeah, indeed. Your life is just incredible. 24/7 motorcycles. Yes, all jokes aside, you've got a lovely wife and a great family, but man, oh man, the effort you put in is incredible. The desire is still there after all these years.
Yeah, it certainly is, Neil, and my last month has been the hardest month of my life, I reckon, and even to the point when we were driving up here, we threw a rod out of our van, If I had really, really, really bad luck, I'd have some luck. So it's been a really hard month. Just glad to be here and out on the track on the bike, and the bike's going well.
Okay, Neil, we're going to have to leave it there, mate, because they're underway here with awesome. The Pro Twins, so we'll leave it there. Sorry to cut you short, but racing takes precedence here at the Motorfest, and the Pro Twin field have disappeared down into turn 1. Ben Rosendale, Nick Kane, Josh Augustine, and Nick Sutherwood off on the front row, and I would expect that would be the first 4 as they head down into turn 2, Brad.
Yeah, it looks like Looks like the 89 there of Jace Augustine in there, so that's the update as we have a look at that. So the black Pro Twin Suzuki SV650, that's leading them out of Kev's Carousel and up towards Swampy's Curve. So awesome part of the international. That's the bright orange Mega Motorcycle Centre entry of Nick Kane there. Looks to be in second place, so that's a new generation SV650 Suzuki as well. Then the two white bikes, the Southerwood Racing bikes of Ben Rosendale and Nick Southerwood. They are off to good starts as we see a little bit of toing and froing there. Our thoughts go out to Matt Dunlop. Unfortunately, Matt, one of our top contenders, he broke his collarbone in the scrub session this morning, so hope for speedy recovery for Team Dunlop in hospital there. So we've got someone down in the double B as well. He's up and okay as we have a look at this. So it is the number 89 of Josh Augustine. He leads them into the Porsche Dipper, and right in behind him is the Christchurch man, Nick Kane, and 33 Budget Motorcycles Spares entry in second place as they look at the Dipper. And look at this. This is going to be another awesome race as the top four starting to break away already, Phil.
Yeah, they're starting to get away, aren't they? They head through the sweeper. You'll see them on the top of the hill very shortly, folks. As you heard Brad say, the call, nothing in it in the early stages. 6 laps, so anything can happen. Of course, TT races even longer again. Look at Nick Kane all over the back of our race leader Augustine as they head down into one once again. Here's something to think about, folks, that approaching to turn 1 as you crest the hill here on the front straight at Hampton Downs is pretty near blind. It's an off-camber corner. We've seen quite a few people in cars and bikes go astray there. Luckily, these guys stay on 2 wheels and head down into that long straight and down towards the Foster's 90, should I say 180 degree corner, and that takes them through into the extension of the track here, running the international track at Hampton Downs for the Mike Perro Motorfest. And these 4, they're going to battle all the way, I would think, right to the checkered flag, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely. Just have a look at these. The 65 of Ben Rosendale. They're all over the back of Nick Kane. So Nick's got to also make sure he keeps in touch with our race leader, but he's got to do a lot of defending as well. So Ben Rosendale looks to be one of the faster men on track as they head into the double bastard and out onto the existing circuit. It is Josh Augustine ahead of Nick Kane, and then Ben Rosendale with Nick Southerwood right there in 4th place as well. So that's Michael Patchett in 5th. SJ Cavell got a better start. He's running in 6th place as well. So good to see SJ. Had a horror race yesterday, got caught in a bunch of traffic and just unfortunately couldn't quite get where he wants to be, but another 6th place here for him at the sharp end of the field with CD Vandermeer Builders SV Suzuki 650.
Just thought that Nick Kane was going to have a good long look down the inside as they came through the Dipper and out onto the short chute, but he's content to sit in 2nd place for the moment. Augustine holding on to it. You mentioned that the chasers are coming, and that's going to change the complexion of the race, because as they're battling at the front, that slows down the flow of the race, and that allows the guys at the back to catch up just a little wee bit. And you might see the evidence of that as they head across the top, and it's Nick Kane that's gone into the front down the inside as they head down into 1. So Augustine's got to have a think about this. Does he go with him? Does he try and take the position back? He does, and they're side by side heading down the long straight towards the Foster's turn 2. Now, who's going to be the last of the late breakers here? Will it be Kane or will it be Augustine? Down into the braking area they come. In fact, there'll be 3 of them battling it out now. Down the inside is Kane. He's still got the advantage, and one had to check up, and I think that was Augustine, and he's going to lose the spot here. He's going to go back to 3rd and maybe even 4th place. Just had to check up there. Kane just drifting a little bit wide out of that 180 degree turn. It's consolidated his lead, but it's doomed poor old Josh Augustine a little bit there, because he's gone back to 4th now.
Yeah, this is great racing, and we watched them into the double B, so it is now Nick Kane in charge. This one Ben Rosendale in 2nd with Nick Southerwood now up into 3rd. Josh Augustine in 4th place, and look what that's done. And Michael Patchett starting to sneak up on the back of this group there. So we can confirm that was Andy McLaughlin that was our man falling in the double B, so he's up and okay. But that is our points leader from yesterday. He's been relegated to 2nd, but big stuff in the championship with Andy Mack out of this one.
Absolutely, because there's only 13 points the difference from himself and Nick Kane, and Nick Kane is the race leader as they head down into the Dipper once more, and down the short chute and into the sweeper, the Pirelli sweeper at the bottom end of the circuit. Nick Kane in the front in 2nd place. It'll be Rosendale by the look of it. Remember, we had that bit of a problem for Kane, and that shuffled Augustine back to 4th, and that's where he stayed. Over the top of the hill they come once again. Look for the bright orange bike of Nick Kane to be leading it.
Yeah, there it is, 33, Nick Kane over the line, and then Ben Rosendale second. Josh Augustine managed to get back up into third, but there's nothing in that at the moment, so that's brilliant stuff to watch. A full-on four-way fight for this one, and that's already 3 laps down, so half race distance already, and it feels like it's just been non-stop action. There's Michael Patchett. He runs in 5th place and definitely catching up with these guys, so a full-on, I would say, 5-way battle if you count Michael Patchett, but Nick Kane goes nice and defensive. Ben Rosendale going to try right round the outside. I think he's done it.
Outside move, and he's done it. We've got a new race leader as they come out of turn 2, and it's Ben Rosendale.
What a move.
He gathered up the courage there, didn't he? He went right round the outside and has got the chocolates. He's got the reward. Now can Kane come back at him? This Kane just knocks in behind him in 2nd place. So a change here as they work their way through the extension here at Hampton Downs through toward the double B now. This corner, named the Double Bastard after the owner here, Tony Quinn. He thought, what are we going to call this one? It's a tricky little corner. It's in fact 2 corners in one, a double apex in one and a single apex in the other. And it's caught plenty of international riders and drivers out. And already Rosendale's got a little bit of daylight between himself and Kane. That's the battle for 1st and 2nd as they head down into the dipper once more.
And Augustine just had a little look up the inside. He just tried not quite close enough, but definitely got the interest of Nick Southwood, who snuck around on the back wheel. So this 4-way tussle, these are awesome Pro Twins, and you're not going to beat a 650 twin for sound and power out of the corner and that. So a brilliant class, and these guys well deservedly get in their own race today after being involved in a 50-rider 3-class race yesterday. So they've decided too many bikes on the track. They've given them their own race, a 6-lap feature, and they'll get a 10-lap TT later on
today. A little bit closer. He's got a good drive coming up the hill, and he gets on the brakes just fractionally earlier from Rosendale. So he'll sit in 2nd place as they come through that turn 1, the off-camber corner, and then carry the speed down the long straight once more. 2 laps to go here at Hampton Downs for the Pro Twins. Remember the point situation. Nick Kane leading, but only from 13 points from Andy McLaughlin, but we saw McLaughlin go down, so he's not going to pick up too many points here. So that's going to change the complexion of the championship. This is round 3 of 5 for the New Zealand Superbike Road Racing Championship, and it is all on at the front of the field. Yeah,
we've got a lead change as well. So Josh Augustine just got it done into turn 2, the fastest construction right-hander. So he will lead them up into Swampy's Curve. So Josh Augustine, race 1 winner, he leads them away, and then go back to Ben Rosendale in 2nd with Nick Kane hanging there in 3rd place and Nick Southwood in 4th. So great racing, some awesome little chopping and changing between these guys, and some pretty clean stuff considering how many passes we've already seen, Phil.
Yeah, I just wonder if Nick Kane maybe missed a gear or something because he's fallen back into the clutches of Southwood. Southwood's right there. They go through the higher pull hairpin. You see the rocket there. Regular fixture here at Hampton Downs and down into the dipper once again. So, yeah, Kane's under real pressure now to hold on to that 3rd place, the last spot on the podium. They run down the short chute.
So here we go into turn 10, the awesome Pirelli sweeper. Josh Augustine with Ben Rosendale right on behind him. So we've seen the lead change at the line a few times. These guys get a good slipstream up the hill. And there it is, Nick Kane, the bright orange Mega Motorcycle Centre Underground Brown SV650. That's in 3rd place. And Nick Southwood right there in 4th. So we cross the line, and it is Josh Augustine. And go back to Ben Rosendale, Nick Kane, and then Nick Southwood. So this 4-way group has been a 4-way group the whole time. Michael Patchett still there in 5th place, and trying to catch the update of the rest of our field.
Yes, Jacob Vell's the next one through. Then we go back to Matt Brawl and Jace Augustine and Chris Bird. Last lap, the white flag out, 1 to go. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Josh Augustine? Is it going to be Ben Rosendale? Can Nick Kane pull something out of the bag? We'll track them as they work their way around the circuit here at Hampton Downs, looking for a last lap move. It'll only take a misgear or a slight miscue in the braking, or maybe a wrong line change, and it'll be all on. But already the gap's starting to just open a little bit at the front of the field.
Yeah, look at that. Josh Augustine just snuck a little bit of a gap as they head into the double B. They're around the 2nd of the left-handers in there. So Josh Augustine looks like now he's got some clean track. He's just breaking away from Ben Rosendale a little bit, and even the Nick Kane, Nick Southwood battle there. This seems to stretched out a little bit. So just all line and stern as they head out of high pull and down into the Porsche Dipper. So it is going to be Josh Augustine leading them into that. He goes in nice and neat and tidy. Then go back to Ben Rosendale, Nick Kane, and Nick Southwood in there, and then Michael Patchett in a nice little 5th place there, riding a lonely ride.
And poor old Mike Patchett, he's watching all this unfold in front of him, and he's just not quite close enough to be a part of it, is he? Augustine leads him around the right-hander, the sweeper at the bottom end of the circuit, and he's got the advantage, as you heard Brad say, so he should get to the top of the hill first. Then we'll see a last lap charge here from Rosendale. We'll wait and see. Checkered flag out this time for the Pro Twins. Race 2 for them for the weekend, and a good win there for Josh Augustine. In the end, he just edged away, didn't he? In 2nd place, it will be Ben Rosendale, and in 3rd place, it'll be Nick Kane. 4th place will be Nick Southwood, and then 5th, Michael Patchett.
There's Cavell coming through there in 6th place with Matt Bro right there as well. And looking for Jace Augustine there, and Chris Burt. Tim Gray up there in 10th place there. So that's a double class in there for Tim Gray. So good to see Tim coming up and a nice little 10th place. So yeah, Josh Augustine, classy performance, and with a 1:45.2 fastest.
So Andy McLaughlin will be credited with what, 16th place, or will he be credited with a DNF because he didn't finish the race, but he got past 50% of the distance. So maybe he will pick up some points. But that's going to hurt him in the championship. There's no doubt about that. That little bit of a miscue in the earlier going in that one, because he was only 13 points out of 1st place. Nick Kane will capitalise on that points. Good points too for SJ Cavell. He was in 8th place, 69 behind on 49. 2 rounds to go. One more race to go for these guys this weekend, and it will be the TTs.